Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik from Figured Out Productions. The following video is a video of some kind, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and welcome to PlayLoad. This is all my video game pickups for the month of April 2020. I'm not gonna lie, I was not really expecting to have much of anything at all this month, but it's ended up being kind of strange, and some stuff has actually come in. As you can see, we got a few packages here that we'll be getting to in a second. The reason for that being that my lifestyle has changed, obviously. I'm unable to go out and travel and do all the events and things because of the current lockdown situation. So I wasn't expecting there to be much, but some things have happened. First and foremost, I'm just going to show you the only thing that I had that you guys have already seen. I just thought I would give a quick shout out to, which is this, the RetroTink 2X SCART, or SCART 2X. No, RetroTink 2X SCART, I got it right the first time. This is a device I did an entire video on. I highly recommend you check that out if you're at all interested in the idea of taking your old game consoles and using them on a modern television to have them look good. But long and the short of it, this thing was really cool, and I just thought it deserved another cameo. Now, beyond that, I got a few games, and this is cool. So this is really cool. If you guys, does anybody out there remember Best Buy's Gamers Club Unlocked program? I've talked about it a lot over the years, but they stopped doing it last year. Basically, it was a service Best Buy did in which if you signed up for it, you pay $30 and you would get 2 years of coverage. And for those 2 years, you would get 20% off of all games, regardless of price. It doesn't matter if it's a day one release, you get 20% off. And that could be a serious savings. If a game's $60, you're getting it for $48, day one. So it was a big deal, and it applied to all video games, which is exactly why they stopped doing it. My membership, I had it for 4 years total. Before mine expired, and then they got rid of the program, so they just honored the end of people's contracts, but they didn't allow them to renew anymore. I talked about this as recently as a couple of months ago, or a few months ago. It was like December of 2019, and this dude Juan contacted me, and he was like, "Yo, man, I have a valid membership still. I signed up, and I ended up stacking my memberships, which who knew you could do that?" So he showed me, he's like, his doesn't expire until like 2022, which is ridiculous. So he just gave me access to his account, and he's like, go ahead and use it. I'll get reward zone points, and you can get discounts. And I was like, that's a deal. So I ended up going through Best Buy's website and just kind of looking for stuff that was on sale or on clearance, and then adding to that. So as a result of all that, I got some killer deals on some games I've been wanting for a while. First and foremost, I got Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which was a Kickstarter game. I made the mistake of getting this for the Switch. That wasn't my intention. Originally, when this game was proposed, I wanted the Wii U version, which doesn't exist. It was canceled. But that was what I had supported. And at some point, they asked you to update it, and for some reason, I picked the Switch, and I regret that because the Switch version of this was the inferior version. Although it's my understanding that patches have come out and kind of fixed it, but really, I should have just got it for Xbox One when I had the chance, and now I made up for it. So now I actually have the game on the platform I would prefer it on, considering the ones that's available to me. I've never been a big Castlevania type of guy, but everybody was just, I wanted to support this because of what it represented back in the day. It's hard to think that was that long ago. I mean, that was, what, 2014, 2015? Yeah, something like that when this happened. So it's been a long time, but I just more supported it just because of what it represented. But then it turned out to actually be a legit good game. So cool to have that. Another one I wanted, this one was actually on clearance at Best Buy, and this is now the fourth time I've bought this game, which is stupid. Sniper Elite V2 Remastered for the Xbox One. I got Sniper Elite on the Wii U, and it was just a game I got as part of the collection. I wasn't really thinking about it, and one day I decided to just pop it in and try it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And then I found out there was an Xbox 360 version, and it was super cheap by that point. So I remember getting it just to get the achievements. I was like, I'm more than willing to play this game again. This was phenomenal. And then I can get a whole bunch of achievements. Achievement whoring, basically. But I was willing to do it. I didn't care. And then that was it. I thought I was done with this game. And then I find out like a couple years later they did this version for the 360, like a re-release that had all the DLC on disc called like the Silver Star Edition or something like that. Kind of hard to find, but I managed to find it at one point. I'm sure I showed it in one of these videos. And I picked it up because, again, once you find it, it's not really worth anything. It's just hard to get. And I bought it and I beat it again. And I beat all the DLCs and I had a great time with it. Never thought I'd be playing it again. And all of a sudden I found out they remastered it. It's like that good of a game. That seems to be why. So the remastered version has all the DLCs, includes the 4 extra campaign missions, plus 10 extra weapons and more. But then they claim they added new features and some stuff like that. I don't expect any sort of amazing new experience, but they also did, at least for Xbox One X, the 4K Ultra HD enhancement, HDR support. So it'll be like a really great way to experience that game again whenever I feel like getting around to it. But yeah, that's really why I got it, because at that point it was also on clearance too, so it really wasn't expensive to go back and quadruple dip on the same game. And speaking of rediving into stuff you already own, Sega put out some collections lately, and I decided to get one, or get a few actually. This is the 10th anniversary bundle of both Bayonetta and Vanquish. I'm sure a lot of people looked at this like, why is it not Bayonetta like 1 and 2? And simple reason is Sega really didn't have anything to do with Bayonetta 2. They just had Bayonetta 1. And so I'm sure that for that reason they're like, look, we could re-release Bayonetta because that's, keeps happening, but we should put it on different platforms. People have so many ways to play it. We should give them a little more bang for their buck. So they threw in a game called Vanquish, which was a 360 game. I have it. I don't recall it being a particularly big hit, but it's one of these things where I think they just felt like it would give you more value, so they just kind of threw two, basically Xbox 360 games, enhanced them, of course, and then just put them out on the Xbox One and PS4, just to kind of, basically resell you the same stuff. And I'm stupid enough that I bought it, but again, this was, I think, ultimately like $20, something like that, with all the discounts and all that stuff applied. Because again, all of these games were either on clearance or on sale already, and then I got 20% off of it. So, yeah, very cool. But yeah, there you go. And the funny thing is, I don't remember if I ever played Vanquish. I think I played some of Bayonetta, but Vanquish I don't think I ever did. So now that they're 4K Ultra HD enhanced, maybe I'll get more out of it. But speaking of collections, one I did get, again, the Yakuza Remastered Collection. This is not the collector's edition, the one that comes with like the PS3 case of Yakuza 5, which I thought was a cute little touch, since Yakuza 5 infamously never got a physical release outside of Japan, even though it eventually got a very late digital release. So it's kind of Sega's way of being like, all right, you can throw that into your collection if you really want to, but you can also have the PS4 version. I thought that's what I was getting, but I didn't realize that was just like the day one edition, so what showed up was this. Although I was joking around with a buddy of mine at Sega, and he said he'll just set aside one for me anyway. I try not to push on that type of stuff if I don't have to. If I can support the company, I will. So in this case, Yakuza, the Remastered Collection, which comes, it's, as far as I obviously could be wrong about this, but as far as I know, is like the only 2-disc game on the PlayStation 4. Which is not really fair to say, because it's actually 3 games. Both Yakuza 3 and 4 have 1 disc, and Yakuza 5's got another. I'm sure there's another one out there, and I'm not thinking of it. You can say in the comments. I would like to hear it. It also comes with a sticker right there by the developer. Yeah, so very cool to have that, because now everything Yakuza is, other than like the Dead Souls stuff and the spin-offs, is all on PS4, so you can get the whole main series on there. Zero, the Kiwami 1 and 2 remakes, now 3, 4, and 5, and 6 is also on there as well, so very cool to have that. Now here's one I got for kind of, I don't even know how to phrase this exactly. I kind of got this for bitter reasons. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Now I've been getting these games for a while. I think it's cool that, they do a Sonic and Mario official like thing together. I've always thought it was odd that, aside from the Smash Brothers cameo of Sonic, it's always been kind of weird. It's like you got those two icons, and the only thing that ever happens is they make these Olympics games, when there could be so much more. But this one in particular, because of the situation we're all in, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics have been postponed, and I will go so far as to speculate they might get canceled entirely. So my joke here is essentially that Mario and Sonic may be going to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, but none of us are. Yeah, so I thought it was just kind of... I would have picked it up anyway, but also for the fact that it's an Olympics game for an Olympics that may never happen. I'm sorry, I know that's jaded, but it's a possibility. I just decided to get it for that. So that's it for the actual video games. And then we got some stuff. So I wasn't expecting any of this stuff. I want to make that very clear. The first package actually comes from Stone Age Gamer, and because they sent me something cool, I wanted to give them a little plug here with, hey, look, my shirt, Stone Age Gamer. They gave me this shirt a while back. But yeah, they gave me this, and this is, full disclosure, came in for the purposes of review. I'm going to be doing an entire video on this, so we're just going to talk about it very, very limited capacity in this video, just so you guys can get a spoiler for what's coming up soon. So we'll cut the package open here. I always like Stone Age Gamer's packaging, where they kind of get cutesy with the tape and say, like, you know, what's inside contains blast processing and all this sort of stuff, just to kind of, something only, like, actual, like, retro gamers would really appreciate. But, okay. Inside, bubble wrapped. We've got, move that out of there. There's 2 items in here. I wasn't expecting 2 items. I thought it was just one. Hang on one second. What is all this? There's more stuff in here than I was expecting. First and foremost, let's go through this first. We've got, okay, they gave me, this is a pack of, it looks like Nintendo Game Pack 25-cent with top secret tips. This is literally a pack of cards. 3 scratch-off cards with 2 stickers. This is like NES era trading cards. I was not expecting that. And then a giant stack of business cards and magnets for Stone Age Gamer. Thank you. So that's I wasn't expecting that at all. And we got 2 items here. One is what I was expecting. Oh no, maybe there's a reason that that's separated. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is making more sense now. So what they sent me here is the Mega SD, and then they also sent me a case for it, like a nice hard case. Yeah, so basically they sent me a message here. It says, thanks for taking the time to review the included Mega SD. If you have any questions about its operation or if you run into any issues, please let us know. We've included a memory card that has our free games pack included on it, as well as some BitBox storage case that we offer as a $15 upgrade option for the Mega SD. Reach out if you have any questions or anything regarding that. We look forward to seeing a video about it. And yes, I'm more than happy to do a video on it, as I said before. But yeah, because that's the whole point. We're doing a review video. Not in this video, though. This is just kind of giving you guys a heads up as to what's coming. But if you're not familiar, the Mega SD is a device by Terra Onion. These guys are awesome. And it's basically a cartridge that you put into the Sega Genesis that will allow you to play every Sega Genesis game ever made. But it also has a new feature that is, I believe, was introduced by this device. Because it uses an FPGA, it uses that to replicate the Sega CD. So therefore, this cartridge allows you to play both Sega Genesis games and Sega CD games without needing a Sega CD. So I'm looking forward to diving into that in greater detail. But yeah, it was cool of them to throw in the case. I truly was not expecting that. So thank you very much to the guys over at Stone Age Gamer. And again, guys, look forward to the video coming up soon. Now, next up here, we have another device. This one is very random. This came from a guy named Peter from Virginia. So he just contacted me kind of out of the blue, and he's like, I got something I think you might like. You might want it. And I was like, dude, you don't have to send me that. And we went back and forth because he was just like, no, man, I'm serious. You got to take it. And I was just like, no, it's cool. You don't have to send me that. And he's like, no, really. Like, and eventually he was like, dude, just take it. It's like, okay, fine. So we'll just go ahead and I will show you guys what it is. But thank you again to Peter for doing that. And but you know, seriously though, like I told him, you really don't have to send me stuff, guys. Like I appreciate it and all, but it's, you know, you just don't have to send people stuff like this. Like it's totally cool. Like it's all right. But inside, we've got. We'll introduce the note first. The note might spoil the content, but there it is. I see the thing. What do we got here? It's a long piece of paper. All right, I'm just gonna read the note, so it'll spoil stuff, but that's I think part of the fun. This is a giant piece of paper. Where do you find such an oddly non-industrial sized piece of paper? Hey man, now you're the sad owner of the Mattel Hyperscan. It has only 5 confirmed release games. I say confirmed because they made an Avatar: The Last Airbender game that allegedly got a limited release before the Hyperscan was canceled. The 2 games I don't have are Ben 10 and Spider-Man. There was one more canceled Nicktoons game as well. It was $70 when brand new. It got a price cut to $20, then I scooped it up for $10 in 2014. I believe it was canceled in 2007. I keep seeing that a homebrew community exists for this thing, but can't find any proof. As far as interesting facts go about the Hyperscan, that's kind of all I can think of. For all its weird quirks, it's kind of charming. That being said, it sucks. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the video. So, he's referring to the fact that obviously it'll be in this video, but also I think this will be a fun one to actually make some sort of video about. Like, not a full-on recap because it's not really a new console, but then again, maybe that discussion is worth a video, but we'll get to that later. But you guys tell me, do you want to see me do an entire video on this thing? I'll do it. If you got, all you guys got to do is say you want it, I'll do it. But he's right. There's the $10 sticker. Everyday low price, $10. But yeah, if you're not familiar at all, you're like, what is going on? Basically wow, I've never actually held one of these things. Mattel, like the toy company that makes Barbies, their only foray into video games before that was the Intellivision. This was an attempt on their part to make a video game console aimed at children specifically, and I would go so far as to say, like, kids with bad parents or cheap parents, because this didn't come out in like the mid-90s. This came out in like 2004, 2005. This was meant to compete with like the Xbox 360. And I don't mean compete because really it certainly didn't. It got destroyed. But it's kind of like saying the Leapfrog was designed to compete with the Game Boy Advance. It's not really fair to say that. But yeah, that's the console. It has, you know, the power supply there, the controller ports. It does use a disk drive. The hardware in here, it's my understanding, would be semi-comparable to like an original PlayStation, maybe. It has a USB port on the back, power supply, and hardwired composite cables. Yum. The reason it's called the Hyperscan is it's got this thing, which is basically like a little, I think it's NFC tech, and it just kind of scans these cards. And that sounds kind of cool, but the reason it's really stupid and impractical is you've got these disc-based games you put in there, like fighting games and stuff like that, but when you want to select your character, even though the game menu might show that, you can't actually pick one. You require the card in order to pick a character. So what kid is going to get this and like keep good track of all their, you know, their cards and stuff? The fact that they render the games unplayable without the cards is really what was the dumbest possible decision about this thing. But regardless, it's very cool of him to send that my way. And yeah, so we've got the Marvel Heroes game pack, the wrestling game pack, and I think he said, yeah, there's the disc for the X-Men game. Yeah, the X-Men game. And like he said, there's only like 2 other games that exist. So I'm now, what, 60% of the way through the complete library of Mattel Hyperscan. We'll see if that ever comes into fruition. But yeah, thank you very much. That was very cool of you to do. So moving on though, we have just one other device here. So this is an odd one because it is and isn't video game related. There's a company that contacted me, you know, not too long ago. It was kind of before all this stuff started, and they noticed that I travel a lot, or I did. And so they were like, we got something I think you might like that it might be kind of interesting or helpful to you, so we're just going to send you this. And I was like, okay. Now, I'm not going to do like a full video on this thing. I figured, you know, it's kind of a cool thing for them to do. I'll just give you guys like a quick rundown of what it is, just so you guys are aware that this is even a thing. But, so, you know, shout out to them. This comes from a company called AUZAI, which is, I believe, a Chinese company. Yeah, AUZAI. And inside we have this thing. This is the AUZAI 15.6-inch portable monitor. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to give you guys like a micro review of this within the video because I realize this is a short episode, so it'd be kind of cool to just focus on something else. But yeah, let's take a look here. So inside yeah, there's the box, and it's got like this slip-off top here, kind of like a clothing box from, you know, people who buy like nice clothes instead of me. Yeah, I'm not no knocking the t-shirt. I just, you know, this is a t-shirt. You don't buy these at a nice big box store. And it's got a foam insert there. And it comes with a little thing that says you get a free whatever if you sign up for all this stuff. There's some ads there. And then we have a screen protector. I'll have to apply that before we do much here, I think. And then it comes with a monitor, warranty registration, and all that. And then inside we've got the device itself. And we'll get to that in a second. We'll take out this foam padding. Under that we have a USB cable, what appears to be a USB cable, USB-C, a screen wipe cloth, another USB cable, and another USB cable, and that would appear to be it. So let me kind of move some of this around, and I'll give you a basic elevator pitch of what this is and why I'm kind of excited about it. And then we'll stop. I'll kind of use it for a while and then tell you what I think of it. But basically, this is a portable monitor, as would be, you know, obvious. It comes with this case here. The reason that this thing is kind of cool for gaming purposes, yeah, see the monitor's super clean at the moment, so I don't really want to touch it. It is not a touch screen, but what's interesting about it is that you can connect it to really any USB-C based device or HDMI compliant device. It supports 1080p output, so, and this little stand here to kind of figure out how it works, but it's, you know, got a convenient little stand that you can flip around, and yeah, so the monitor itself, I need to adjust the... You get the idea. I have to flip it upside down, but like it would display something like this. Yeah, so it supports basically, you can use it for computers as some sort of like a laptop. If you want to use it as a secondary monitor, you can do that. You can also take your phone. If your phone has a USB-C port on it, it will connect to this. I believe iPhones and any sort of Apple product require, you know, a third-party connection. Mine would not require that. But you can do it for that. So the reason I'm kind of excited about it is that I can use it on like airplanes whenever that resumes to normality. You know, using the phone to connect to like the Wi-Fi of the aircraft and put on a video on the phone and then watch it on here instead, so I have a much bigger screen. Also useful for like hotels and things like that. But the other thing that's cool about it is, so the way it works is it's got these 3 ports. One's HDMI, as I said before, HDMI mini, unfortunately, USB-C. One is a USB-C data transfer, and one is USB-C power. The reason that's useful is, like, let's say I've got my phone, I've got this, and I've got my phone's charger. This thing does not have any sort of internal battery supply whatsoever, so it's constantly reliant on some sort of power supply. Now, it could draw power from, say, my laptop. It could draw power from my phone. But it's like, well, okay, if it's drawing power from my phone, that's going to kill my phone, right? Well, the idea is the second port is you plug your phone charger into this, and then that will charge both your phone and keep this thing on at the same time. So I think that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to put on the screen protector and then kind of tinker with it for a bit and just kind of tell you guys, like, you know, really what I think of it. All right, so I've decided to get a little bit creative here. So the micro review of this thing, it's not bad. It's a decent little 1080p screen. It seems to only really support 720p or 1080p inputs. It doesn't seem to support 480p, which... yeah, you can be assured the thing that we've got connected to it doesn't quite run at that, but we'll get to that in a second. I connected it to things like the Nintendo Switch through the USB-C port. That worked like immediately. There was no problems there. I tried using my phone. That was supposed to be a big thing, but it turns out my phone doesn't support screen mirroring, so kind of renders that point useless, which is depressing because that was like the really big appeal for me personally. So presumably whatever phone I eventually upgrade to, I won't have that problem. It's nice to kind of future-proof my infrastructure a little bit, but at the moment, the thing I intended to use it for, I will not be able to do, sadly. But it does not go without its uses. Like I said, you can connect it to, you know, anything HDMI compliant, so that's not a problem. And of course, I do have a laptop, and I can use it as a nice like backup screen and all that sort, or a secondary monitor and all that stuff on the road. But what I thought would be fun, as you guys have already kind of seen here, is I wanted to connect the Mattel Hyperscan. I wanted to be the only person in the world to ever bother connecting a Mattel Hyperscan to a portable monitor. Oh, and I went all out because, as it turns out, not surprisingly, the Mattel Hyperscan only uses composite. Therefore, it at best runs at like 480i. No composite inputs on this thing. Oh, but don't you worry. Mike Chi, the guy who created the SCART 2X I showed you before, he got us covered. The original RetroTink, which takes composite, I got it running into that, which gives us 480p. Now, as it turns out, this monitor does not support 480p, as I just mentioned. No problem, though. Marseille came to the rescue. I've got the M Classic running through there. So now I've got the Mattel Hyperscan running at 1080p through this thing. The Mattel Hyperscan has never looked better, and yet it still sucks. I don't even know, like, okay, so horrible load times on this console, but you guys get to actually see it thanks to the AUZAI monitor. Yeah, no, and so let's see here. Obviously I can't really see, so, ooh, and we've got sound. The sound on this thing, not bad for what it is. You'll have to forgive me as I can't really see. I'm gonna have to kind of turn this thing, and we'll try to play like a quick match or something. Let's see here. Kind of hard to control this with like from this angle. Sorry guys. All right, so the first one is going to be quick fight. We'll go for that, and hopefully it doesn't give me random characters I can't actually pick at the moment. Okay. The little thing here is kind of floppy, but it's all right. It works. Okay. I know isn't this exciting? You're finally gonna get to see me play a game live-ish. Oh right. It wants, what was that, Professor X? I don't have him right here. I've got Wolverine. Give me Wolverine. Nope. 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 His card's probably in the box still. Box is, where's the box? Let's see here. Do I have the Professor X card? Well, now you see the inherent flaw with this machine. I don't appear to have the Professor X card, so I can't continue any further than this. Come on, man. You really want, let's see, scan your, yeah, I thought I did scan my character card. Give me that. I don't even know if it's doing anything. So it recognized it as not playable. How about Lady Deathstrike? That worked! Okay, we're gonna play. Do you guys see this? Why this thing wasn't a big hit? Yes, I will play as Lady Deathstrike. Yeah, sure, up against Colossus. Oh my god, aren't you guys on the edge of your seat? Yeah, it's not really a wonder why this thing wasn't a huge hit there, Peter, but thank you so much for sending it my way, and thank you to AUZAI for donating the monitor so that we could all experience this together, and hopefully one day I'll be able to use it as I intended. It's just a limitation of my phone. It's nothing it's nothing against the monitor. I didn't even know that. I mean, it taught me that my phone didn't support screen mirroring. So that sucks for me, but it, like I said, with something like the Nintendo Switch, it worked really well. So you just plug the USB port, the USB-C cable at the bottom of your Switch into the monitor, and then plug the power supply into the monitor, and it'll power your Switch, it'll power your monitor, and you can just basically have like a bigger screen for the Switch, which I realize, you know, when you have a television, it makes more sense to do it that way, but it's more, again, for the portable. If you're the frequent flyer, it would be much more useful. This is, I can't really see what I'm doing. Weird Mortal Kombat style music. I can't do anything. Wow. I can't, dude, you don't understand. It's not really responsive. What is this? Yeah, I died. It's not surprising at all. Oh no, I guess I'm still alive. No, I'm dead. Anyway, that'll be it, guys. That is the Mattel Hyperscan, and that is the monitor by AUZAI. And that's PlayLoad. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you guys could like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff, I appreciate it. Social media stuff's in the description. Thank you to AUZAI. Thank you to Peter. Thank you to Stone Age Gamer, of course. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.